Ocean Data Systems is proud to present Dream Report, the leader in industrial reporting technology. Dream Report is designer-friendly reporting software for the industrial and process automation world, allowing you to achieve all your plant production, performance, and compliance reporting needs. It is a reporting platform built from the ground up around the systems that you work with on a daily basis, whether they're real-time data sources such as PLCs and SCADA systems and HMIs, connectivity into all the process historians on the market, and not just being able to connect to those historians, really understand the nature of industrial or time series data that these historians are archiving and then exposing to Dream Report. And connectivity to non-process data sources, other data sources such as lab data, energy management systems, your own custom databases or Excel spreadsheets. Because invariably all data in a plant is connected one way or another to each other. So Dream Report gives you this aggregated view of all your data across a plant or an enterprise. It's an easy-to-use software platform, and I think the reason for the quick learning curve is that it's not a programming tool. It's a configuration environment where if you feel comfortable working with tag-based systems like an HMI or a PLC or a historian, you're going to feel very comfortable working inside a Dream Report, and it doesn't require any heavy IT or programming resources. And being an industrial reporting platform, it has modules ready to go for different industrial and process applications. So if you're in life sciences or food and beverage, batch reporting is probably going to be very important to you, or CIP reporting. We have a batch reporting module ready to go. Maybe in discrete manufacturing, statistical process control or SPC reporting is important to you. Maybe you want to get a handle on all your alarm and event data, and you want to present some ISA 18.2 type reports and dashboards. We have a module for that. Energy usage and accounting, heat treatment applications. We have all these modules ready to go for these different industrial applications. And it's a highly scalable solution. First and foremost, Dream Report is an industrial reporting platform, but it doesn't end there. We also have a very interactive dashboarding feature, and Dream Report can be configured as a data server, serving up data over OPC to other industrial or process applications. And when I say serving up data, I really mean serving up information, because we're consuming all this raw data from the PLCs and the HMIs and from the plant floor. We're contextualizing it and refining it, and then taking that contextualized data and making it available to other systems in the plant. There's several reasons why customers will implement Dream Report. Very often the first is that they have a regulatory or compliance reporting need. They need or must have these reports to stay in business. And Dream Report's a great tool to build these compliance reports, whether it's water and wastewater reporting, FDA regulated reporting, or maybe it's a customer who has some compliance requirements. But really where customers want to be at is being able to tap into all the data they already have across their plant and run their businesses better, whether it's more efficiently, getting a handle on up and down time, getting a handle on energy usage. All the raw data is invariably already there in some system or another. The challenge typically has been to contextualize it and present it in a meaningful manner. And Dream Report really helps you get there and really maximizes the ROI on your automation infrastructure. Along those same lines, maybe you want to do more ad hoc type analysis of your data. What's the correlation between this quality data we're seeing in the lab and what we're seeing in our alarm and event data or in our process historians? So being able to drill down into the different systems and really empowering your workforce to make better, smarter decisions on the fly. So where does Dream Report fit? Really in every industry. As I mentioned in the previous slide, we certainly have functionality or modules built for specific industries. But then, of course, there's functionality that every industry needs, whether it's getting a handle on their equipment, up and down time reporting, whether it's understanding what their alarms and events are telling them, meaning any kind of environmental compliance reporting. Dream Report is a great solution for all industries. And it's really up to you what you want these reports to look like. They can be traditional tabular type reports. They could be more of a graphical view of things, maybe a mix. Maybe you'd like more of a dashboard view where content is updated periodically, a user can interact with it. It really comes down to who the end user is and how they need this data contextualized and presented to them in the reports. So let's take a look at how Dream Report works and what it does along the way. So you create a reporting application. The first thing that happens is a wizard pops up and it says, what do you want to connect to? And there's really two categories of data Dream Report works with. The first is existing data and alarm archives. So this is data that's being stored by some external application, an HMI, a historian, some other system, and has logged this data And so it's ready for reporting. So on the high end, that's your process historians. On the very low end, it might be simple CSV files. It might be custom SQL databases, proprietary HMI log files. But the point is the data has already been stored by some other system, so it's ready for reporting. The other data sources we work with are real-time. So being able to connect directly to a PLC or an HMI to grab data at the moment of report generation, so live or current values. But most customers want to see data over some time period, a week, a shift, a batch. So if the data is not already logged, Dream Report includes a very nice little data logger that lets you take this real-time data and store it into the database of your choice. Once you've connected to your data sources, then you spend all your time in the Designer Studio where you're going to lay out and design and configure your reports. Then for each report, you tell Dream Report how do you want to generate those reports. It could be automated, and if automated, you could schedule a report, run it at the end of every shift, daily, weekly, every hour, last day of every month, up to you what schedules you want to associate with a report. Another way to automate report generation is a report triggered on an event or reporting on exception. For instance, you might have a batch report. A bit goes high in the PLC at the completion of the batch. We want to trigger a report when that bit goes high. We can look at that value. When it equals 1, trigger the report. Or you can even take metrics from one report or calculations in one report to trigger another report. So you're really letting Dream Report look at the data for you and then notify you or send you reporting content when certain conditions are met. We have several ways to generate reports on demand. Typically, it's done through the included Dream Report web portal, which we'll go over in more detail shortly. Finally, you specify the output format and the distribution of your reports. The default format is a PDF, and this is nice because it's a graphically rich format. It's very easy to secure, but you can also send the data into an Excel spreadsheet, a CSV file, or an XML file. And if you want a more interactive experience with the report, you make the output a web page. And once it's a web page, it's true HTML5, so now you can put hyperlinks, you can drill down, you can have web pages update periodically. So much more interactive experience than, say, a PDF, which is your report or your document of record. And then reports can be set up to store locally on a network share, automatically posted to an FTP server, emailed as attachments, printed to one or more printers, or interacted with on a mobile device. Connectivity to all of your data in a plant is key. It doesn't really help anyone if they have to jump from system to system to look at the data contained in those different buckets. Going to your historian for one set of data, going to your LIMS system for another set of data, going to your energy management system. Doesn't it make so much more sense if you could have one reporting platform that can connect to all these data sources and bring everything together and show the relationships between all of this data? So Dream Report includes over 125 communication drivers, and we're always writing new ones whenever new equipment and new software platforms come out. Our drivers can really be broken down into two main categories. Open communication protocols. So these are not vendor-specific protocols, but for instance, you wanted to go to a specific PLC. If you had an OPC server, an OPC UA server, you could get to that PLC to grab real-time or historical data through OPC. Or maybe it's a Modbus device, so you'd use the Modbus driver. If it's more of a business-type data source, maybe a SQL database, you'd use an ODBC driver. If it's an Excel spreadsheet or a CSV file, you'd use the appropriate driver there. As you can see, we have drivers for most of the industrial automation vendors out there, both their hardware and software platforms. If it's hardware, it's typically going to be a PLC or a data logger, a data recorder. If it's software systems, whether it's historical values, historians, HMI log files, it's real-time values from the HMIs, or it's alarm and event, historical alarm and event data. Additionally, we have a manual data entry driver, which allows you to manually enter data because ultimately the operator is the source of data for your reports. So whether it's a complete set of manually entered lab samples, maybe operator comments, visual checks, things that can't be automated, with a simple data entry form on the Dream Report web portal, the operator can enter this data. And now you're able to then combine all your process and lab and operational maintenance data all from a common reporting environment. So the Dream Report Designer Studio is where you're going to lay out and configure your reports. It looks and feels a lot like you're working in an HMI studio, so it's going to feel very comfortable and very familiar to you. Really what you see here in Studio is what you're going to get when these reports are generated. We have a nice set of graphical objects that are used to really show this data in context and really make this content pop out and get highlighted in your reports. As important, maybe even more important than these nice graphics, is this large library of statistical functions or KPIs, metrics, whatever you want to call them, that are all built around and optimized for industrial and process automation reporting. So things like equipment up and downtime and utilization, alarm analytics, show me the number of nuisance alarms, give me the highest rate of alarms and when did it occur. These are all calculations that are ready to go, that you point to your raw data and then put it into a context that's now useful and usable to somebody who's viewing those reports or dashboards. It's a template-based environment, meaning that you can build reports, save them as templates, reuse them. If your system's integrated, this is a great feature because you can build up a library of templates that maybe are specific to a vertical market that you're specialized in. And whether your customer is using vendor X's historian or another customer is using vendor Y's historian, it's very easy to redirect the data sources that feed these templates. So a lot of nice reusability and engineering tools in the software. And of course, everything in a secure environment with user access authentication, built-in audit trails, version control, that's all standard and part of Dream Report. So if Studio is where you configure the project, what do your end users see? Well, some users just want reports automatically generated, emailed to them, printed, maybe stored on a network share. But most users want to actively interact with the system. So to do that, we provide that functionality through a secured browser-based web portal. This web portal lets you do several things. First of all, it's where you can go to review reports. You just open up a browser, click on a report name, and the most recently generated report will show up. But we also maintain a history of reports that are organized by year and month. You can go back and look at reports that have run at any point in the past. The next way to use the web portal is to do more dynamic or ad hoc reporting, where you specify your own date ranges or pick from a drop-down what batch or work order ran and generate a report on the fly. Or come up with any number of additional filters that you might want to expose to the users so they can drill down to what they really want in the report and then generate that PDF or print it or email it right from the web portal. We talked about manual data entry on the previous slides. The web portal is where you would set up your data entry forms for your operators. It can also be used for ad hoc trending, and if you're using it as a dashboarding tool, the dashboards can be set to update periodically. You can have hyperlinks on calculations. So for instance, some number might catch your eye on a report. You want to click on that number, show me the raw data behind it. Show me a quick trend of that data. Copy the data off to a CSV file. All of that is functionality is available as long as you check the box that says, I want to make the output of this report to be a web page. You can embed content from other applications. You might have another dashboarding tool that you like some of their widgets or some of their displays and you want to mix that content or a video feed or a PDF setup document. You can mix in content from external systems with the content that we're producing. Conversely, you can take content that's available in Dream Report and turn it into what we call a web cluster. And what this does is creates a URL that you can then embed in your own HMI or another dashboarding tool and take content from Dream Report and embed it in other applications. It's also a very nice collaboration tool where users can message each other from the web portal. They can attach links to dashboards or attach PDF reports. And not only are you collaborating, but it also drives accountability between users. As I mentioned earlier on, Dream Report is used in every industry. In this slide, I'm going to show some example reports from different industries. Let's start off with life sciences and food and beverage. Batch reporting, CIP, clean in place reporting, is very important for those industries. Dream Report's batch reporting functionality makes it very easy to build those reports and not only generate reports for these industries, but also everything around it. So for instance, if it's a 21 CFR Part 11 compliant application, we support electronic signatures, version control, audit trails. All of that is ready to go for a highly regulated industry like life sciences. Alarm and event reporting. If you're familiar with the ISA 18.2 standard, this is a very practical standard that lets you understand and make sense of all your alarm and event data with meaningful, actionable metrics. Dream Report supports all of those metrics. They're all available out of the box. And then to be able to build dashboards or reports like this, where instead of showing just a mass of alarm and event data, now you can contextualize it, maybe breaking down alarm counts by priority or different areas in the plant where alarms are occurring. Or maybe maintenance wants to get a list every week of the big hitters, Pareto analysis. Show me the highest number of occurrences of the top 3 alarm categories so they can focus their maintenance in those areas. Or maybe you want to look at rates of alarms and when are you getting floods? Is there a pattern that every Monday you're getting an excessive rate of alarm at first thing on a Monday morning? Why is that? Very hard to make sense of your alarm and event data if you don't have metrics like this. Dream Report is a great tool for any kind of both energy production and energy accounting. So we have a cost calculation module that lets you set up your rates and tariffs for your different utilities in a plant. So you might be charged one rate at certain times of the day, different rates at different times of the year. You can then take those rates and apply them to meter readings, to actually giving you a result in dollars and cents in addition to, say, kilowatts. So Dream Report can analyze that meter data over time, apply the appropriate rate or tariff, and come up with a cost to run that asset. Any type of equipment performance, up and down time, utilization, OEE reports, these are all commonly implemented with Dream Report. Whether it's a simple discrete tag that's telling you an asset is running or stopped, and then giving you breakdowns by running time and percentage uptime and stop and start counters and having a scoreboard. Maybe it's time and states under different states of operation, whether it's running, jammed, idle, maybe an OEE type report or dashboard. These can all be implemented with Dream Report. Statistical process control. If you had just say a need for a simple control chart or a histogram on a production report or a complete SPC analysis, Dream Report can provide that functionality. And it really doesn't matter where the data is coming from. It could be manually entered into Dream Report, it could be coming from your historian, could be coming from your lab data that's already been collected. We have the key SPC metrics and display objects to create these meaningful SPC reports and dashboards. Heat treatment. This is an area that Dream Report is used extensively for temperature uniformity surveys or TUS reports. While the set point analysis module was built specifically for this industry, it can really be used in any industry where you need to keep track of set points and stability of a process. With regards to environmental compliance reporting, Dream Report is used extensively in the water and wastewater industry for all of your regulatory reports. Maybe it's industrial wastewater treatment that you have to provide reports on, continuous emissions monitoring, air quality. So again, these can be just automated reports, it can be ad hoc reporting, whether it's again internally used or to provide to some regulatory body. Building management, data centers, whether it's a building management system where you have to produce room reports on airflow and relative humidity and occupancy. Maybe it's a data center or a power generation facility where you have to produce reports. Maybe you're a property manager and you have to produce utility usage reports for your different tenants. Dream Report can be used in these environments. Any kind of plant utilities reporting, whether it's, again, things like boilers that you're utilizing or any other plant utility. Maybe it's more of a dashboard view of things. Dream Report can provide that functionality and a whole lot more. With security being so important in plants these days, Dream Report has an extensive user management that addresses all of your security needs around this reporting application. We integrate with your Windows Active Directory for your user accounts, and this extends security across all the modules in Dream Report. So who can get into Studio, who can design reports but not configure communication drivers, who can get into the web portal, which reports they can get to. This can all be set up at the user or the user group level. We have multi-language support, which allows you to associate a language with a specific user. So when that user logs in, the whole environment will switch to that language. Version control, a feature that's required by the FDA, allows you to track all changes to the project's configuration. So whenever somebody makes a change to a report, they have to check it in with a comment. Dream Report will automatically increment the report or the project's version ID. If a change was made that was not authorized, you can actually review the changes and then roll back, say, to a specific version of that report, or the whole project for that matter. The runtime audit trail keeps track of what's happening at runtime, who logged in or who had a failed login, who manually entered data, what did they enter. All activities at runtime can be logged to a secure database. We also have the ability to require electronic signatures on reports. So certain people are authorized to sign reports. They can review the report before the report is released. They can add a comment. You can have multiple signatures, a done by signature, a check by signature, with workflow. These features are critical to many industries, and most reporting packages don't include this functionality. Okay, let's talk about Dream Report licensing. So Dream Report follows a tag-based license model. We have different license sizes based on tag count. Once a tag is used in a project, it's only counted once. You also get one development seat with every license, but you can add on additional concurrent development seats as well. For access to the web portal, you'll always get at least one web client with your main Dream Report license, but then you can add any number of web clients on and even mix different web clients to come up with a custom number. You get all of our communication drivers. Really, the only add-on modules for Dream Report, in addition to the additional web clients, are if you want to set up Dream Report to run in a redundant or a hot backup mode, or if you want to add additional concurrent developers, as I mentioned previously. Licenses can either be issued as a permanent license or as an annual subscription. If it's a permanent license, we then have an annual maintenance and support program that gets you direct access to our tech support team and free upgrades to any new releases during that annual contract period. Dream Report's a product that's very easy to get up and running. To start learning the software, we encourage you to go to our knowledge base where we have lots of self-learning resources. We have links to our YouTube channel videos, user manuals, release notes, a getting started guide, tech notes, FAQs, and other how-to videos. Additionally, we offer instructor-led formal training classes. These are done online, hands-on training offered by the Dream Report experts. A great way to fast-track your knowledge and your skills with Dream Report. If you'd like us to help you with your reporting applications, our professional services team can offer you a complete turnkey solution. We can add on to your existing projects. We can get you started, and then you take it from there after attending training. Maybe it's a project audit that you want to optimize your project. Maybe you have to produce validation documentation for your reporting application. We can certainly help you with that. We're here to ensure your success with Dream Report. Thank you for your time. If you'd like to learn more about Dream Report, please visit our website at dreamreport.net or send us an email or give us a call. We'd love to talk about your reporting requirements and how Dream Report can help you with all your plant, performance, and regulatory reporting needs.